The hotel appeared out of nowhere. One moment, Ayan was driving through an endless stretch of fog-covered highway, and the next, a massive building stood silently on the roadside. Its old neon sign flickered again and again, struggling to stay alive. The Silver Crown Hotel. Ayan slowed the car. His phone showed no signal, and the fuel warning light blinked angrily on the dashboard. Midnight had already passed. There were no other buildings, no houses, just fog and silence. With no other option, he parked and stepped out. The air felt unnaturally cold. As he approached the entrance, the wooden doors slowly opened on their own, releasing a long, tired creak. Inside, the lobby smelled of dust and old wood. Yellow chandeliers hung from the ceiling, swaying slightly though there was no wind. The walls were covered with portraits of guests wearing clothes from different eras. Their eyes seemed to follow Ayan wherever he walked. "Hello," he called out. A bell rang on the reception desk. From the shadows behind the counter, an old man appeared. His skin was pale, his smile stiff and forced. "Welcome, sir," the receptionist said. "Room number?" "I just need a room for the night," Ayan replied. The old man nodded slowly, pulled out a thick register, and slid it across the desk. Ayan noticed something strange. Many names were written, but none had a checkout date. "You're our only guest tonight," the man said, handing him a key. "Room 307, third floor." As Ayan took the key, their fingers touched. The receptionist's hand was freezing cold. "One rule," the man added softly. "No matter what you hear at night, do not open your door." Ayan forced a laugh. Sure. The elevator didn't work, so he climbed the stairs. Each step echoed loudly. When he reached the third floor, the hallway lights flickered. Room 307 was at the very end. As he unlocked the door, he felt a strange pressure in his chest, like the hotel itself was watching him breathe. The door closed behind him with a loud click. The lock turned on its own. Ayan checked the room carefully. The furniture was old but clean. A single bed stood near the window, and a mirror faced it directly. The curtains were already drawn. Trying to ignore the uneasy feeling, he lay down. At exactly 2:17 a.m., a sound woke him. Footsteps. Slow, dragging footsteps outside his door. Ayan held his breath. The steps stopped right in front of room 307. Then came a soft knock. "Sir, please open the door." His heart started pounding. The receptionist's warning echoed in his mind. "Do not open the door." The voice continued. "You checked in by mistake. Your room is downstairs." Ayan stayed silent. After a few seconds, the footsteps slowly moved away. Relief washed over him, until he heard whispering from inside the room. From the mirror, he slowly turned his head. His reflection was smiling, but Ayan wasn't. The reflection raised its hand and pressed its finger to its lips, signaling him to stay quiet. Suddenly, the bathroom door slammed shut. The lights flickered violently. From the hallway, loud banging started. Multiple hands hitting doors, screaming, crying, begging. "Let us in." Ayan hid under the blanket, shaking. The screams lasted for several minutes, then stopped completely. Silence. When he finally gathered the courage to look, the mirror reflection was normal again. Morning light slowly crept into the room. Maybe it was all a nightmare. But when Ayan stood up, he noticed something carved into the door from the inside. "Check-in is forever." Ayan rushed downstairs to leave immediately. The lobby looked exactly the same, frozen in time. The receptionist was still there, smiling. "I want to check out," Ayan said urgently. The old man opened the register and pointed to Ayan's name. "There is no checkout," he replied calmly. Ayan snatched the book. His blood turned cold. Every guest listed had the same room number they died in. Accidents, suicides, disappearances. Room 307. "You were never supposed to leave," the receptionist whispered. The portraits on the wall began to change. Faces twisted. Eyes bled. Mouths opened, screaming silently. Ayan ran toward the exit, but the doors wouldn't budge. Suddenly, the hallway lights turned red. From the stairs, shadows began climbing. Figures with broken necks, twisted limbs, dragging themselves upward. "All guests must return to their rooms," a voice echoed. Hands grabbed Ayan from behind. "No," he screamed. They dragged him up the stairs. Back to room 307. The next morning, a car stopped outside the Silver Crown Hotel. A tired traveler stepped out, looking for shelter. Inside, the receptionist stood behind the desk, smiling. Behind him, a new portrait hung on the wall. Ayan, standing stiffly, eyes wide open. The traveler rang the bell. "Welcome," Ayan said softly. "Room number?" The message arrived at 11:59 p.m. "Congratulations. You've won a free 2-night stay at the Black Orchid Hotel." Sarah frowned at her phone. She never entered contests. Still, the hotel looked luxurious when she searched it online. 5 stars, perfect reviews, no complaints. Every review praised one thing repeatedly. "Best sleep of my life." Exhausted from work and stress, Sarah booked immediately. The hotel stood in the heart of the city, tall and elegant, its glass exterior reflecting the night sky like a black mirror. A valet opened her door, smiling too widely. "Welcome, Miss Sarah. We've been expecting you." That sentence felt wrong. Inside, the lobby was breathtaking. Marble floors, golden lights, soft piano music. Guests moved quietly, almost mechanically, their faces blank. At the reception, a young woman handed Sarah a keycard. "Room 1313. Top floor." Sarah hesitated. "Isn't the 13th floor usually skipped?" The receptionist smiled. "Not here." The elevator ride felt unusually long. The digital screen skipped floors, 10, 11, 12, then blinked and jumped to 13. The doors opened to a silent hallway covered in deep red carpet. No windows, no cameras, just doors. Room 1313 was at the end. Inside, the room was perfect, too perfect. Fresh flowers, warm lights, a handwritten note on the bed. "Sleep well. Don't answer calls after midnight." Sarah laughed nervously and locked the door. At exactly 12:30 a.m., the phone rang. She stared at it as it rang again and again. "Caller ID, room 1313. Sarah didn't answer the phone. She unplugged it and tried to sleep, but the bed felt strangely warm, like someone had just gotten up. As she closed her eyes, she heard soft breathing beside her. She shot upright. No one was there. At 2 a.m., her TV turned on by itself. Black and white footage played, security camera clips. She recognized the hallway. Guests exited rooms on the 13th floor, walking calmly into the elevator. None of them returned. Then Sarah appeared on the screen, standing in front of room 1313. But she was still in bed. Her phone buzzed. "Unknown number. You shouldn't be watching." The lights went out. In the darkness, footsteps circled her bed. A whisper brushed her ear. "You took someone's place." Sarah ran to the door. It wouldn't open. A soft knock came from inside the bathroom. "Sarah," a voice called. Her own voice. The mirror fogged up. Words appeared as if written by invisible fingers. Only one guest per room. The knocking grew louder. Cracks formed in the mirror. From behind the glass, hands pressed outward, stretching the surface like skin. Sarah screamed as the mirror shattered, and everything went silent. Morning came. Sarah woke up on the bed, unharmed. The room looked normal again. No broken mirror. No unplugged phone. She ran downstairs. "I want to check out," she demanded. The receptionist looked confused. "But you checked out last night." "What?" She turned the monitor towards Sarah. Security footage showed Sarah entering the elevator at 2:17 a.m., smiling peacefully. "I never left my room." The receptionist's smile faded. "Then you're still on the 13th floor." The lights flickered. Suddenly, the lobby stretched upward, transforming into the red hallway. Doors slammed open. Guests stepped out, pale, hollow-eyed. "We were invited too," they said in unison. Sarah realized the truth. The hotel didn't kill guests. It replaced them. Every room needed a soul to stay perfect. The elevator dinged. Floor 13. A week later, the Black Orchid Hotel received another late-night booking. Room 1313. At the front desk, a familiar face smiled warmly. "Welcome," Sarah said. "Enjoy your stay." Behind her, the guest list updated itself. One more room filled. The sign outside flickered. "No vacancy." The sea-facing hotel was supposed to be abandoned. That's what Aram had heard from the locals while filming travel vlogs along the coast. But there it stood, tall, alive, its windows glowing warmly against the dark ocean. The Marrow Bay Hotel. A handwritten board outside read, "Last vacancy available." Aram smiled. Abandoned places meant views. Views meant clicks. Inside, the hotel smelled of salt and polish. The lobby was oddly clean. No dust, no decay, just quiet. Too quiet. Even the sound of the waves seemed muffled. A bell sat on the counter. Aram rang it. A woman appeared almost instantly. Mid-30s. Calm face. Empty eyes. "One night," Aram said, camera still rolling. She nodded. "Room 404. "That's an error number," he joked. She didn't smile. As she handed him the keycard, Aram noticed her wrist, deep red marks, like fingerprints pressed too hard. "No recording after sunset," she said. "And if your room starts to feel warm, step outside immediately." "That's a first," Aram laughed. The elevator doors opened by themselves. Inside, the buttons skipped numbers. 1, 2, 3, 5. "Where's 4?" Aram muttered. The elevator stopped. Floor 4. The hallway carpet looked damp, like it had absorbed seawater for years. The walls subtly moved, just a little, as if breathing. Room 404 was at the center. Inside, the room was beautiful. Ocean view, soft lighting, a low humming sound, almost like a heartbeat. Aram set his camera down. That's when the door locked itself, and the walls exhaled. Aram pressed his ear to the wall. The sound wasn't pipes. It was breathing. Slow, deep, patient. The floor felt warm under his feet, warmer with every second. He remembered the receptionist's warning. "Step outside immediately." He grabbed the handle. It wouldn't move. The humming grew louder. The walls subtly pulsed, veins appearing beneath the wallpaper. His phone buzzed. No signal, but a notification appeared anyway. Hotel message. "Please relax. Resistance causes discomfort." The bed shifted behind him. He turned. The mattress dipped, as if someone unseen had just sat down. The sheets tightened, wrapping slightly around the edges. Aram backed away. "Okay, not funny," he whispered. The TV turned on. It showed security footage. Room 404. From the ceiling corner. Aram watched himself standing there, terrified. Then something appeared behind him in the footage. Tall, blurred, pressed close. He spun around. Nothing. The footage zoomed in on the wall. A face pushed outward, mouth open, screaming silently from inside the wall. Dozens of them. Hands, eyes, faces, all trapped. The room temperature spiked. Sweat poured down Aram's face. He slammed his shoulder into the door again and again. Crack. The door opened. Cold hallway air rushed in. The room screamed, not through sound, but through vibration. The walls shuddered violently. Aram ran. Behind him, the door to room 404 sealed itself shut. The hallway was longer now, and wet footprints appeared behind him. Not his. Aram burst into the lobby. It looked different. Darker. Older. Water dripping from the ceiling. The receptionist stood there, hands folded. "You didn't follow the rules," she said calmly. "What I asked that room?" Aram shouted. She sighed. "The hotel feeds." She led him to a door behind the desk. Basement. Below, the walls were raw flesh and concrete mixed together. Pipes pulsed like arteries. Rooms extended inward, alive. "Every room breathes," she explained. "Guests keep them alive." Aram stared through a glass panel. Inside were people, some half merged into walls, some fully absorbed, still breathing, still aware. "They don't die," she whispered. "They stay." Aram realized the truth. The hotel wasn't haunted. It was hungry. "And room 404?" he asked. She looked at him. "It's empty now." The building trembled. Emergency lights flashed. A deep vibration echoed through the structure. The hotel was waking up. Walls began closing in. "Run," the receptionist said softly, "before it claims you." Aram ran toward the exit. The front doors opened, then stopped. The floor beneath him softened. Hands grabbed his ankles, pulling him back into the warmth. Morning sunlight hit the coast. The Marrow Bay Hotel looked peaceful. A couple entered the lobby, dragging suitcases. "Do you have a room?" the man asked. The receptionist smiled. "Of course." She handed over a keycard. "Room 404. Ocean view." Upstairs, the walls breathed slowly. Inside room 404, a camera blinked red. Recording. A new face formed beneath the wallpaper. Eyes open. Still screaming.